Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order running on the Ryzen 5 5500U. Now this is currently running at 1080p with the lowest possible settings, but dynamic resolution is actually set to off, and the performance is abysmal. This is completely unplayable. Now the lowest settings in game are actually the medium preset. There are some hidden settings that you can actually unlock if you mess with the INI files, but it's one of those things where visually you sacrifice a lot, and one of the reasons that they really don't let you mess with any of that stuff in the game itself is because it can introduce some visual issues that are going to make the gaming experience completely ruined pretty much. So I would recommend just not even bothering messing with that. But as you can see, even with the lowest settings, 1080p is just completely out of the question. It's just going to be a completely unplayable experience. This is ridiculous levels of just low FPS. Now, if we actually enable the dynamic resolution scaling, we can claw back some performance here. We start to hit averages that are in the 30s, but those 1% lows are just still brutal. And looking at that frame time chart is just clearly showing you that the game is not running well. It is pretty much still struggling to go through this, and we're just in the intro section, which, to be fair, the intro section, I like it because it does represent pretty accurately how demanding the game can be in some sections, because you will have these open environments that have a lot of things happening dynamically in the background and stuff like that. So it is accurate in telling you how the game is going to be, but you're not doing any battles here. And when you're actually battling someone and you have to do things like parries and stuff like that, doing the timings when you have inconsistent frame times is pretty much just going to mean that it is going to be very hard to do at the higher difficulties. So unfortunately, the dynamic resolution scaling is just not enough to really make 1080p a playable experience. Dropping things down to 720p and enabling the dynamic resolution, though, does actually net us a noticeable performance increase. It's going to be pretty much a 30 FPS gaming experience, which at 720p is a little rough in the sense that you are sacrificing a lot visually, especially because you need to have the dynamic resolution scaling on, though it doesn't affect the visuals as much because we are hitting that 30 FPS average. But it is one of those things where it can be kind of annoying, the fact that you're really stuck in these lower FPS areas. I mean, right now the averages are looking good, but they are going to fluctuate around as you just go through the areas and like things have to load in, which is why, again, I say the intro is really good at showing you what the game is going to be like, because a lot of things have to be streamed in. There's a lot of things going on, huge scale to it all. So it's one of those things where it's a good indicator on how the game's going to perform, but these numbers aren't exactly going to be the most amazing thing, considering that we have to drop all the way down to 720p. But it is an overall better gaming experience, and I can get away with playing like this if I really wanted to play through this game. Yeah, the settings being at the lowest means that things are still going to look a little visually off, and with the dynamic resolution scaling and already being at 720p, things aren't exactly going to be the most clear. And on the 15-inch 1080p screen on here, it can at times be a little off-putting, specifically the textures. It's really the textures that are the biggest issue, but for the most part, if you're just here for the gameplay, you're going to be able to get all of that perfectly fine. So if you're interested in playing this game, I definitely recommend that you play it at 720p with dynamic resolution scaling set to on. But anyways, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.